But now let's go to George Bush. He's speaking, and everybody's waiting with bated breath. Is George Bush going to start withdrawing more troops in Iraq, or is he going to stay the course? Wait, I can't wait. What's happening? Oh my God, I'm in so much suspense. Jay, I can't wait to hear this clip because you never know. George Bush is unpredictable, and he's always thinking and always considering other opinions, and he might just change his mind on Iraq. You never know. So let's listen in and see what he said today.
The recommendation likely to receive the most attention is on troop levels. General Petraeus has reported that security conditions have improved enough to withdraw all 5 surge brigades by the end of July. That means that by July 31st, the number of U.S. combat brigades in Iraq will be down by 25% from last year. Beyond that, General Petraeus says he will need time to consolidate his forces and assess how this reduced American presence will affect conditions on the ground before making measured recommendations on further reductions. And I've told him he'll have all the time he needs. Some have suggested that this period of evaluation will be a pause. That's misleading, because none of our operations in Iraq will be on hold. Instead, we will use the months ahead to take advantage of the opportunities created by the surge and continue operations across the board. All our efforts are aimed at a clear goal: a free Iraq that can protect its people, support itself economically, and take charge of its own political affairs. No one wants to achieve this goal more than the Iraqis themselves. Those who say that the way to encourage further progress is to back off and force the Iraqis to fend for themselves are simply wrong.
All right, well, of course, as always, I have 100 things to say about that. First, all 5 surge brigades will be removed. What does that mean, surge brigades? Of course, it's not only misleading, it's not true. We quote-unquote surged with 30,000 troops, and we're removing only 20,000 troops. So at the end of the year, we will have more troops in there than after the 2006 election. Lie number 2, he says, we'll be down 25% from last year, our troop levels. Well, that once again depends on how you're counting. If you're counting, from before the surge, no, we'll be up from before the quote-unquote surge after the American people already told the government, get the hell out of Iraq, right? So, once again, grossly misleading at best. And I don't even know where he got that 25% number, because even by the most generous estimates, I don't see it at 25%. And then he says, well, this reduced American presence. What reduced American presence? We got more troops. At the end of taking all these surge brigades out, we will still have more troops in Iraq than we did before we started the so-called surge. And by the way, after the 2006 elections, where the American people said, get the hell out of Iraq. I mean, this whole thing's a farce. It's a farce, man. And he's sitting there like as if he's withdrawing troops. Please. And then, of course, he says, General Petraeus will have all the time he needs. He has all the time in the world because, of course, I'm not going to change course in Iraq. And, by the way, I don't know if you know this, General Petraeus is stepping down, apparently, at the end of the year. So all these guys, all they want to do is hang on so they can blame somebody else for it so it doesn't tarnish their legacy. While other people die, by the way. While people die, right? And then they're going to pull the chute and be like, we're out of here. I tell you, our surge worked. We reduced our presence. The violence was down. We had it all figured out. Did you address any of the underlying problems in Iraq? Underlying problems? There's no underlying problems. Did you just hear President Bush? He just told you, oh, no. This is what the Iraqi people want. Yeah, of course, as always. By the way, who are the Iraqi people? If this is a very important question. If this is what the Iraqi people want, why are we fighting anybody in Iraq? Who are the people we're fighting in Iraq? Are they Martians? Are they Norwegians? Are they Mongolians? No, I believe they're Iraqis that we're fighting. So obviously, not all of the Iraqi people want us to stay and support the central government. Obviously, there's a very large group of Iraqi people who do not support the central government. Now we have Sunni insurgents that used to fight us working with us. That's a positive development. But does that mean they support the central government? Hell no. in interview after interview, the Sunnis say, oh, wait till the Americans leave. We can't wait to go to war with the Shiites. And forget that. And we could leave tomorrow, we could leave 10 years from now, and it's still going to be the same thing. But beyond that, the Sunnis say, does the central government represent you? The reporters ask them. And they say, hell no, they don't represent us at all. The Kurds are working with the central government, but they're making their own separate oil deals. And they're running their area with their own army, and they don't take orders from the central government. What? The central government tells the Kurdish area to do something? You think they're going to do it? They're not going to do it. They haven't done it. In fact, the central government told them, don't make a separate oil contract with any foreign nations. And they said, yeah, that's interesting. No, we're not going to listen to you. So they don't control the Kurds, they don't control the Sunnis, and they don't represent them. Represent them? They don't represent them at all. Let alone the major fight on our hands now, the rest of the Shiites. They don't even represent the Shiites, the central government. So Bush comes out here and says, we're going to have a free and stable and prosperous Iraq led by this central government, and we're going to stay there until we have that. There is no central government in Iraq. They don't represent the Iraqi people, and the Democrats, unfortunately, are letting Bush pretend that there is one when there isn't.